Hi everyone, today we are going to create a specialty tutu and we're using camouflage colored tool, and I love this tool. The reason for this specific tutorial, to be honest with you, is I've thought of all of our past and present men and women out there who keep our country free, sacrifice family time, sacrifice being at home, pursuing maybe more lucrative careers because the private sector pays better, and just keeping us secure and doing those hard jobs that keep loved ones at bay. So to them, we say thank you and we celebrate and honor them, as well as hunters, because my granddaddy, being from Texas, always took me hunting. So this tool works in a variety of ways, when you start thinking of memories. This camouflage specialty tool is flame retardant. We're using what they call old willow or olive colored premium tool. Now that does not state that it's flame retardant, and most tool, unless you special order it, is not automatically flame retardant. So if you're really concerned about that, go ahead and do your due diligence and ask your creator or ask the place that you're purchasing from. So let's get started. And let's create something unique and also cost effectiveness in mind. All right, so we've got our specialty tool, and if you've checked out our Sweetheart specialty tutu on a budget, you'll know that there's some tricks that you can use. You don't necessarily have to put your specialty tool on the bottom layers of your tutu. They're going to be covered up for the most part anyway. But if you really want to, you're more than welcome to. But that's just an easy way for you to save a little bit of money, because specialty tool usually costs quite a bit more than your standard tool. We're doing the slip knot method. Again, we're using old willow or olive, and then we're using the camouflage green style and brownish or olive colored tool that's specialty. Now I do want to mention this. This one is flame retardant, so that's another reason why it costs a little bit more. Remember, right here is a very thin thread. Think of it like this. Think of it as it's what keeps it all going together, keeps it all connected. And if you think of it that way, you won't want to put your last pieces of tool up top or on the bottom, because it can break on you, and then it just is such a pain to try to fix if you can repair it. Sort of like unraveling is how I call it. Slip knot method, bringing the tails together as closely as possible, squishing the top part so it's easy to go through the crocheted hole, putting it through the crocheted hole, bringing it out through the other side, widening it with my fingers, pulling the tails through and gently tugging. Remember, every time that you put a piece of tulle on here, you are in essence stretching your crocheted band, your crocheted top, your elastic band. You're stretching it just a bit, so you don't have to pull on it real tight and make real hard knots. This is not going to go anywhere, so keep that in mind, because you don't want to start with one size and then have it 2 sizes too big. Bring your tails together. After you folded it over, bring it as closely together as possible, unless you're doing the staggered effect. The staggered effect is where you basically just have one piece longer than the other. That's just a fancy way of saying that. And that can really help with the fluffing too. But for this particular tutu, we're going to not stagger. So we're bringing the tails together as close as possible, squeezing the top part, squishing it so that it's easy to go through the crocheted hole. And this that I'm telling you right here is not too big of a deal as far as being able to maneuver it through the hole easily without distorting the crocheted hole. But if you're working with organza or stiffer fabrics, keeping that little point in your head that you're stretching it every time that you put your piece of fabric through and pulling down gently to tighten it, or working with organza especially. If you keep that in mind where you don't have to do it so tight, you'll save yourself a lot of hassle and stress. Before I start speeding through the placement of the rest of the tool, I want you to notice that the top 2 layers are going to have our specialty camouflage tool. We're going to add a few pieces at a time on the second from the top, and then on the very top layer we'll add more of the camo tool. And if you'll notice, please take a look at the photos at the end. You truly cannot tell that the specialty tool is not used throughout. This is cost effective. It doesn't detract from the beauty of the overall effect that you're creating, and the pictures speak for itself. Please enjoy music by Jasper Sawyer and check out his channel. We've got it on one of our cards as we speed through the rest of the placement of the tool.
Darkness, bitter, bitter for all the things I've done. I'm trying to move on, but all the guilt is hitting me at once. I hope you're happy with the one that wants you out of my life, but the stars are falling from the sky. Stars falling straight from the sky. Hey, the little bird disappeared in front of my eyes, and I know that everything's falling, falling. There ain't no stars to light the sky. It's taking me time, but now I see that I was wrong. I should have been there for you and made you feel at home. All this heartbreak, girl, I earned, but I still feel it when it burns, and I'm falling from the darkness, and I'm bitter, bitter for all the things I said. I'm trying to move on, but seeing you is messing with my head. I hope you're happy with the one that wants you out of my life. All the stars are falling from the sky. Stars falling straight from the sky. Straight from the sky. Little bird disappeared in front of my eyes. I know.
And here you have our completed camo themed tutu dress. We've used Old Willow tool and specialty tool in the camo effect, and we've used an olive, or other places call it Old Willow, colored tutu crochet top. We ended up using 20 yards of the specialty tool, and the specialty tool is flame retardant, but you can't tell that it's not completely throughout the entire tutu, so I think it turned out really well. Pretty cost effective. It's going to be a little bit more expensive because this tool is specialty and it's not easily accessible, so you pay a little bit more for that, a premium. We took 4 pieces of tulle that we had left over from the whole thing, and we attached it to the crochet top and just made a real cute bow. This is completely optional, and we have no glue on it, so it can come off if you want. Also, you can take some excess tulle, especially if you can't find that Old Willow color that you're looking for in satin ribbon, and you can make some straps going across that or around the nape. So there's all kinds of things that you can do. We actually have some camo themed flowers that we could embellish right here in place of this. So the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit, guys. You have to know from all the videos, what I tell you almost every time is anything that you create is going to be fantastic. Why? Because you've taken the time to create it. I wanted to take a special moment and say thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. It has been an honor creating these tutorials for you. We've got a whole bunch more coming at you. I feel really blessed. My sons and I are very thankful for all that y'all do. Make sure you check out our sites. If you have any questions or you need some help or some ideas for some creations, feel free to leave it in the comment section and I will try to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Have a fantastic day.